Today I want to talk to you about the Smallrig Black Mamba cage for the Panasonic GH6, which consists of three parts: the cage itself, the top handle, and the HDMI cable clamp. The feature that is really interesting for me about this cage is the design itself on the right hand side of the cage. This doesn't obstruct access to all the buttons and the shutter, and therefore this cage is ideal if, like me, you're a true hybrid shooter and you use your camera not just for video but also for photos. The cage has an Arca mount on the bottom, and you can easily screw an additional Arca mini plate on one of the sides of the cage itself, and with this shoot easily vertical when on a tripod. The cage kit comes with the Black Mamba handle. This item is not specifically designed for the GH6, and I have mixed feeling when it comes to its functionality. On one hand, it's incredibly comfortable. If you, like me, carry your kit for long distances outdoor, the grip is just fantastic. On the other hand, when it comes to the ability to attach other items to the handle, I have some reservations about its design. You see that on top it's got two Arri mounts and a number of 1/4 inch screw sockets and a cold shoe. However, these are too close to each other in my opinion, especially these two. So if you, for example, position a monitor mount, you have zero space left to actually screw anything on the second Arri mount. You're only left with the front one. This is a design flaw that I don't understand. It will be very easy to move this on the rear of the handle, where it will be more comfortable and aligned with the back LCD of the camera. If you have an accessory mounted in your camera hot shoe, you need to remove the handle. But you can have other parts like this universal arm from Smallrig and still attach easily a monitor. You can see here how well designed is the HDMI clamp with secure locking screws. There is also a second screw that is useful to connect a USB-C cable to the camera. Another accessory that may be worth considering for your GH6 cage is the Smallrig follow focus kit. This kit mounts on the left hand side of the cage with these two Allen bolts. It allows you to control either your manual lenses or the compatible Panasonic lenses that have linear manual focus. I found that a complete turn of the follow focus is around 150 degrees setting on the camera. One of the concerns that I had with this cage was that by having the specific design on the right hand side for the shutter, perhaps it was not having a sufficient number of mounting points. However, I have to say that this is not really an issue. There are plenty of attachment possible for your cage if you use also the top handle, and of course you can still rig a handle on the right or the left hand side to have more mounting points if you need them. One of the accessories that I think can be really useful if, like me, you shoot outdoor and you cannot take a monitor video because perhaps the environmental conditions are not ideal, is this LCD hood, which simply slides in and out and has got Velcro attachment on the screen, and it allows you to see also on a bright day. So is this cage ideal, or there are some weaknesses? When I got this cage, I was worried about the mounting point on the top of the cage itself. However, I now realize that the weakness of this cage is actually on the bottom plate. You can see here my cage is mounted on a monopod, which is the setup I use when I shoot wildlife, and typically I'll be using my EVF to shoot. I don't take a tripod because the tripod takes too long to set up and the wildlife may be gone by the time I'm ready to shoot. So if we take the monopod off, we can see what the issue is with this cage. On the bottom, Smallrig has had the idea of changing the position of the mounting holes compared to the cage of the GH5. Previously, the larger 3/8 of an inch mount was in the front and the 1/4 of an inch was on the back. You can also see that the number of sockets has been really reduced. There's only 4 sockets now in total. When I use, for example, a video head, the screw will be on the bottom and then there will be the pin to hold the camera steady. I need to put an adapter from 3/8 of an inch to 1/4 of an inch in order to use the cage. And here, it's still not ideal. And when I use the tripod, I need to use the weaker mounting point for the 1/4 of an inch screw instead of the larger mounting point, because this is now positioned on the front. This is something that is really annoying me about this cage, and I've been writing Smallrig to ask this to be rectified. If this is not a problem for you, this cage is really great. It can help you not just shooting video but also taking photographs without the need of removing the camera from the cage, which is something that I always do with my GH5 and GH5 Mark II. However, if those mounting points are important to you, you need to consider that you need some adapters. This even may not be ideal for your own specific situation. So overall, a great product from Smallrig. The kit is really well priced. All the accessories and parts that come with it are really worth it. However, I'm really stunned that a company like that can make this kind of rookie mistakes with what they've done with the bottom plate.